Welcome to the Booksplosion Lady Midnight book live show thing that's happening here. I'm not used to doing these intros because we're on my channel this week instead of Christine's. But I'm joined here with... Oh no. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Jesse from the channel Jesse the Reader.
I just did this and didn't say anything. I'm Christine from Poor Man's Books. Hello.
And today we will be discussing this magnificent book in all of its spoilery glory. So if you haven't read this yet, do not watch this because you will get spoiled and it's better to experience it. We're taking questions on Twitter with the hashtag LadyMidnight and in the comment section here with the hashtag not Lady Midnight, oh my god.
Midnightsplosion.
Loading.
If you're commenting here, make sure you do the hashtag Midnightsplosion so we can see it because there's a lot of comments that aren't questions and you want to stand out. So yeah, you guys can start tweeting us your questions and we shall start with our general opinions on this book. Christine, do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I've already kind of have half an hour of my general opinions up online, but like I love the book. I love the book. It was really, really great, and I think it's my favorite starter book of Cassandra Clare's series. Like I love Clockwork Angel, but I just think I loved this one more because I knew everyone already. So it was like a different experience. It was like jumping into not the first book in a series.
Kat, just so you know, your Twitter account, Katytastic, it like tweeted out the link to the live show, but it's like in a different language. I don't know what's going on there, but I just thought I would mention that before we get started.
All of the technical difficulties.
I know, right? Anyways, I like literally just finished Lady Midnight, so these are just like my fresh feelings. But I would have to agree with Christine. This is like my favorite first book in one of Cassandra Clare's series. It was just like the strongest series starter, I think, and I think that's partly because we already know so much about this world, and we were introduced to the characters in City of Heavenly Fire, and you know they're in different novellas through the Shadowhunter Academy series or whatever, and so we really know these characters well. So it was really nice to just like dive in and just to like go with the flow. And I loved all the humor, I loved all the action, and it was so great. It was the best. Loved it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. Like, this was by far my favorite first book in the Cassandra Clare series, and I don't know if it's because we met them before and like by now we're familiar with the world, or the fact that all of the characters already had existing relationships, whereas with her previous books it was like characters meeting and figuring out, and in this one it's all established relationships and we just get to play around with them. So I really loved that. I love that we were in Los Angeles. I loved everything about it. It was such a good book.
Yes.
And on top of that, like, there's already existing relationships. It's like we're already existing in this world. Like, we don't have to learn the world. Tessa had to learn the world. Claire had to learn the world. We're here. We're just rolling with it. Emma is...
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Also, it might be too early to say, but I feel like it might be my favorite of the three female protagonists throughout Cassandra Clare series. Like,
I love her.
I loved Emma.
Yeah.
I love her, and I love Tessa, too.
Yeah.
Obviously not Clary, isn't
I do love Clary now. It took me a little more time to warm up to her. Whereas Emma, as soon as we meet her in this book, when we met her before, like she wants to be a badass shadow hunter, just like Jace, and she's snarky and funny and not afraid to like go out there and kick some ass. Emma's my girl.
I mean, like, I like Clary now. She's fine. It's just I don't love her. Like, I love Tessa. Like, I love Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Clary.
All right. Let's see. We got some questions. Let's see. Thoughts on Emma and Mark? Did you guys see Cassandra Clare's April Fool's prank yesterday?
No.
I didn't see it. What was it?
It was a picture that Cassandra Jean had drawn of Emma and Mark kissing, and Cassandra Clare was like, a lot of you guys have been asking about, like, what happens after Mark says, why lie? Well, a picture's worth 1,000 words, so Cassandra Jane drew this, and continue reading for the rest of the scene and a detailed explanation of how that plot arc carries out.
Oh my gosh.
I fell for it until the last line where it's like, click to read an extended scene, and no what happens.
Did you read
Yeah, there is one with Jules and Emma, right?
the rated R version of Jules and Emma?
I did, yeah. Wow. That was not what I was expecting.
I mean, I guess it's kind of what I was expecting. I was just like not expecting them to like go for it right there on the beach, and then stay there all night.
Out in the open.
I was like, anyone can see you if you stay there all night, you idiots.
Not even that, the whole anyone can see you factor, but the whole, like, Emma and Julian are shadow hunters at their prime. Like, they're gonna sleep through the night. Like, they don't wake up to, like, any noise. They don't wake up half in the middle of the night. They're like, what are we doing out here? Like, that's the part. Like, they have slept for, like, a solid 8 hours with no interruptions on the beach.
Well, it's because they're, like, they belong together, and they feel comfortable, and they're just, like, so, like, bathing in the moment of glory.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all night, like, all 8 hours, like, until sunrise, like...
I mean, a lot of people sleep 8 hours, Kat.
A lot of people sleep through the night, Kat.
Sleeping through the night? That was so unbelievable.
Like, literally, Emma had just drowned. Like, she's allowed a lot of hours of sleep.
I don't mean, like, sleeping the whole time. I just... I don't know. Like, when I'm sleeping in a foreign place, like a hotel or something, like, I don't get a solid night of sleep. And I would imagine sleeping outside on a beach, like, you get your solid hours of sleep. I don't know.
They're shadow hunters, so I imagine they can tough the sleep through anything.
I mean, I'm sure they, like, woke up. They just didn't fully wake up, you know?
Yeah. They were just like, this is nice.
Oh, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Yeah. Like, they were like, oh, come here. When they woke up, they were like, oh, Emma was like, oh, there's footprints. Nothing.
Let's move on to this next question. Can you guys establish your ships? So what are your ships for this series?
Well, probably have the same ships. I mean, don't we ship Clue and Emulian? Emulian?
What is that ship?
Gemma!
Oh, Jules and Emma. I'm sorry. Gemma.
I like Emulian.
That's so complicated. Am I right?
Yeah, I definitely ship them, but what about Christina?
Christina and Mark, obviously. Chris Mark.
Diego?
Yeah, I like Diego, though.
You like perfect Diego.
I do like perfect Diego.
He's got Julian with a poison.
What about Mark and Kieran?
Yeah, I kind of like Mark and Kieran.
I like Mark and Kieran, too.
I don't trust any fairy. And
I mean, I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't trust him, but I still like them together.
The thing is, I didn't trust him when we first met him, except for we got that kind of like a flashback scene of where Mark was first getting used to his life in the hunt, and at nighttime, like, he would be there with Kieran, and Kieran would be like, you can tell me how you feel, and he would, like, use that to remind himself he's Mark Blackthorne, he's a shadow hunter.
I don't think they're end game.
I want yeah, we'll see. I do like Christina and Mark, though. Like, before Kieran showed up, I was all about that.
I was already shipping them, and then Kieran showed up. I was like... No, but I seriously don't. I think that their love spawned from, like, a really serious, like, lack of companionship situation, and they don't feel like end game, because it's easy. I feel like, and you know it's hard, Christina and Mark.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I feel like it's too soon to tell in one book because, like, so much happened in just this one book. And the next book is going to be, Cassandra Clare said, equally as long, maybe longer. So we got a lot more coming before we...
Love the name of the next book, which is Lord of Shadows.
Lord of Shadows? Ooh, that is a nice name.
Yeah.
I like it. Is there a name for the third book yet?
There is. I just Queen of Air and something. It's like Queen.
Sounds like a Sarah J. Maas book.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit. It was like it's Queen of Air and something.
I'm kind of surprised she didn't go with a theme for this one. Like, we have Clockwork, we've got City, and I thought she was going to go with Lady, but no.
No,
Lady, Lord, Queen. I can see that.
I'm trying to find it. The Shadowhunter Chronicles, The Dark Artifices. Okay. Oh, it is The Queen of Air and Darkness.
Okay.
Queen of Air and Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm okay with that. Okay, Emma says, are you anticipating a love triangle for Mark, Emma, Julian, or do you think that it won't be that serious?
Yeah, it all depends how far Emma takes this before she like says this is stupid. We're making Julian become an evil dictator or something.
See, I don't want it to become a big deal because, like, we can see from both of their perspectives. We know how much Emma loves Julian. We know how much Julian loves Emma, and like Julian's not going to fall out of love with her just because of this, and she's not going to fall out of love with him. So they're still going to be in love with each other. They're just both in a bunch of pain and like sad, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I think that there might be a little bit. Like, I think there's one of them will develop some sort of feelings for the other, but I don't think it'll go to love. It'll be like, oh, kind of awkward because I kind of like her, and I also kind of like Christina, and it's like, oh.
Also, I feel like Mark kind of has enough going on in the romance department right now. Like,
yeah, for sure.
He's
good.
He has a crush on her. Like, he was like, I see the same thing of me and you. Like, he said it a bunch of times.
yeah.
Like, we're the same, you and me. So they have their own motorcycle scene.
And the thing is, with Mark, like, he doesn't know that Emma and Julian are in love with each other, and that's like kind of what's motivating Emma to do this. Yeah. And to Julian right now, or not to Mark right now, Emma is like the easier option. Like, he's mad at Kieran for what he had the other fairies do to Julian and Emma. Christina was making out with Diego, and this just is like a natural thing for Mark. Like, he's known Emma, he knew her when they were little, like, she's his brother's Parabati, like, they can be together. But
that thing that she used to have a crush on Mark. So, like, it's all kind of playing into this idea that, well, Julian, even though he knows, will still be off the handle. Like, he'll still think this is real, even though there's so many signs pointing to she's just doing this to piss you off.
Yeah.
Not piss you off, break the book.
I guess we'll see how far Emma goes with it, because, like, the whole thing at the end where Mark was like, why lie? Like, is Emma gonna go along with it that seriously, or is I don't know.
Yeah, it depends, because like that creeped me out. I mean, like, just the fact that she's like, we're gonna pretend to be in a relationship, and then he's like, why pretend? Like, shut the door. Like, that's uncomfortable. Like, specifically said, pretend.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see how it all plays out.
I feel like maybe Cassandra Clare's just gonna like play around with it though, because we have had like other love triangles within her series. So maybe she's just like gonna poke fun at it or something. Maybe.
I don't know. Like, it's so weird because Mark has such weird tendencies now that he's spent so much time with the fairies. Like, regular Mark would never be like, why pretend? But this like fairy confidence he has about like just sexual advances, I feel like he's very flirtatious and aggressive with it. He's just like, yeah, whatever, you want me, close the door.
Let's play pretend.
I think it's really funny and kind of like subvert everyone's expectations if this whole love triangle thing was like destroyed in the first chapter of the next book. Like,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But I think that would be really funny.
Yeah,
Like, they're complicated love diagrams. Like, there's no shape.
Right. Okay, here's a question. Any theories for how the Parabati thing with Emma and Jules will get fixed so they can be together and the ship can sail?
I have some theories. I already feel like I already said them, so you guys talk about your theories.
Okay, I have theories that maybe there's a rune to break the Parabati bond that Clary can discover. Like, she can't create them, but maybe there is one. Like, they were given this. There's no out whatsoever, or is there a rune? Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like, Clary could invent a rune to do something.
Well, she can't. She can't invent them. She can only do ones that already exist.
Well, no, she can invent them if they come to her. Like, she doesn't invent them. Like, the angel, like, lets her have it.
Yeah.
But, like, she invented the birth control rune. Like, she wanted to do it, and they gave it to her.
Yeah. So
I'm just thinking, my only theory that I have is that there's something going on with Emma. Like, because we have that scene with her fighting Malcolm, and, like, she stabbed him or whatever, but she's, like, not, like, she feels like she's being controlled or something. So, I don't know, I just feel like something's going on with Emma, but I don't know if that will play any part into it at all, you know?
So, yeah, I have this whole theory in my book talk that, like, something happened there.
Oh, really?
That's gonna affect it, yeah. I've come up with, like, more theories, but I'm gonna make a crackpot theory video, so I have to save them. But, like, that's my like general theory. Like, something happened when she stabbed that book. Dark magic, like, surged up her arm. Like, it was a weird thing. Like, we never revisited it, but something happened, and her Parabati rune is on her arm.
Yeah, that's true. And then there's, of course, the option of one of them becoming not a shadow hunter anymore.
Yeah.
I think that option feels too easy for this series, you know, because, like, they want to be shadow hunters. They don't want to do that.
What if we can get some heavenly fire involved? Like, that solved a bunch of problems before.
Yeah. Oh, in my Cassie interview, like, I asked her if we did the whole gem ordeal. If we reenacted that, would it work for Julian? But she's like, you have a 50-50 shot of living through that.
What do you guys think is up with Diana? What's going on there?
I don't know what's up with her because she's annoying me. I think she's definitely had a past that goes against what the laws of the clave. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I feel like I saw someone online on Tumblr or something maybe suggest that Diana had a baby with a warlock or something, like she had been in a serious relationship with a downworlder, maybe a fairy before. I don't know. I
mean, you can't have a baby with a warlock. They're infertile.
Then no, female. Wait.
Warlocks are all infertile. You can have a human and a demon have a baby, and they have a warlock.
Oh, okay. That maybe no, that doesn't make more sense.
Love with a warlock, but that would be very reflective of what we're already dealing with
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe he's in love with a fairy.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
That seems too easy too. It's probably something more complicated.
Yeah, there's something sketchy going on there.
Yeah. Well, I was just, like, so mad at her for not mentioning that she had suspicions about Malcolm. It's like, you're a house full of kids that are BFFs with Malcolm. Let's warn them that he probably is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, why are you here? And you didn't tell us you were coming here. You know, like at the end when she was there. And the cave.
Yeah. And she knew that they were investigating this, like, why would it?
No! Like, she just thought we wouldn't get this far? Like,
I don't know. Oh, did you guys pick up when Magnus was at Malcolm's house and he saw Emma and he's like, didn't I see you and Julian at another wedding? What was that about?
Yeah, it was at the Aline and
Helen.
Yeah, no, they said that was the last wedding you saw us at, and he's like, oh, I thought I saw you at a different one. Let me find this part.
No, I feel like I remember him saying that. so I believe you, but I just can't.
Unless it was like their Parabati thing, and he was like referencing it as a wedding.
Oh, maybe.
Well, it was, I don't know. I feel like it was an actual wedding, especially with everything that happened in the short story, a long conversation. Like, there's all these other weddings going on. Like, one of them, maybe.
Like a time traveler, Magnus.
That was my first thought. I was like, do Emma and Julian somehow time travel to, like, Simon and Izzy's wedding or something, and, like, Magnus sees them there, and he knows? I don't know.
If you're gonna time travel, I would think you would time travel back to the Parabati moment and not become Parabati. Maybe Magnus can jump between timelines. Maybe there's an alternate dimension that's but different. And that's where.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Well, somebody just said maybe Diana is Kit's mother.
I don't think she looks like Kit, though.
I feel like if that's the case, then Kit is now at the Institute, so, like, we're going to find out real quick about this.
If that's the case, though, Kit wouldn't be like this blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid. Like, those are recessive genes. Like, he needs
You guys didn't think that Kit might have been the Lost Herondale earlier on? I thought that at the end of the prologue.
Well, because you just looked up all that shit. Like, I had read it a couple months back.
Well, I mean, it wasn't because I just had read up on the Shadowhunter Academy is what she's talking about. I didn't, like, look up spoilers for Lady Midnight, but I as soon as I heard that there was a Lost Herondale, I was like, okay, we're gonna meet him. He's probably gonna be in the Dark Artifices because Emma's a Carstairs and Herondale's in Carstairs. Yeah. And then at the end, Kit's father's like, "You're my biggest secret," and I'm like, okay, he's the Herondale.
I had read that, like, so long ago. It was the second book in the Shadowhunter Academy, and I had read it before I even read Shadowhunter Academy. I, like, read those first two books a long time ago. So I knew it was a thing, but, like, I wasn't thinking, like, oh, let me look for it, you know? I was just...
Well, also, we saw Tessa and Jem in the prologue, too. Like, they were in the Shadow Market looking around, and, like, what are they doing there? Not looking for
that. I guess I missed that, because I was just, like, I was reading this part very slowly in the shower, like, over a series of days.
Jesse, what about you? Because you read Shadowhunter Academy right before coming into this, too.
I didn't even think about it at all. It didn't even cross my mind that he would show up in this book, so it shocked me.
He would, but just, like, not.
I didn't think he would at all. I don't know why, but I was just like...
Fast. Yeah. I was just, like, thrown for a loop. I couldn't believe it.
Ooh, how do you think Julian is going to react to Emma and Mark? Do you think it will break him, or do you think his ruthlessness will show? Like, is he going to accept it, or is he going to fight?
I think he's just going to be really angry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of think he's going to fight because he doesn't know the reason. Like, why can't Emma tell him the reason?
I don't know why Emma just won't tell him the frickin' reason. Like,
because Shadowhunters have issues with communicating. That's like all their relationship issues have to do with communication. It drives me nuts. Just talk to each other, talk it out.
He thinks that the forbidden love aspect is just going to strengthen his feelings. But it's just like, he's a reasonable human. Like, if he doesn't want to kill his entire family with this corruption of power, then he's gonna chill. They're gonna have to.
So how sure are we that that is what's gonna happen?
I think that these abilities are just make them super strong shadow hunters that are a threat to everyone because they can do anything they want because they have so much power. So I don't know how sure I am that they'll just implode and kill everyone, but, like, I think the idea is that power corrupts and it can turn you into someone that you're not usually.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But, yeah, I don't know if it's to the degree of them becoming killers and murdering their families. Like maybe that's like propaganda from the Clave, because we all know they love to lie about stuff.
Like, I could see that the power, like, being too much for whatever they're programmed to handle and maybe making them wacky, you know, like, after a while. I think, like, long-term effects. Kind of like spirit magic in Vampire Academy, if you guys haven't read that. But I don't think it's just, like, automatically, like, they're monsters!
Yeah, exactly. Like, maybe that did happen to people in the past. Like, they did become, like, power-crazy monsters, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen every time.
Yeah, I wonder how many cases there have been, because there's got to be lots of cases of this, but it's probably all cut hush-hush, and they're probably, like, put down. I would think, like, if I were the Clave and I saw this happening, I would go send some people, like, assassinate them. That's what the Clave, I feel like they would do.
Sounds pretty Clave-like.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, except not like it. But, you know, like, it would be cool.
Except not like it.
Clave, like, pit them against each other somehow and told them that they had to kill the other, or because the other one, they would only do that if it was a threat to the other one's life. Like, kill them, or else that they're going to become a giant worm monster, that demon.
I don't think that would work. I think both of them would be fighting over who should die. Like, Emma would be like, kill me, and Julian would be like, no, kill me.
It'd be like Romeo and Juliet, and they kill themselves together.
I was going to say Katniss and Peeta with the berries. Let's see. Least favorite scene in the book and least favorite character. Do you guys have any?
My least favorite character was that girl with her hand cut off who was, like, working for
Malcolm. I can't remember her
Lady
name.
Midnight. No,
Oh.
Lady Midnight is Annabelle.
Yeah. She was annoying me.
Yeah.
Kept coming when they were when Malcolm put on that show to make everyone leave with the fire. She was just like, no, we need him.
Did either of you guys predict Malcolm being the big bad?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't ever.
That shocked me.
I thought he was just gonna be like Magnus, like friends with them, but no.
Especially because we got that scene where he's like friends with Magnus, and we already have a warlock that we love, and like he seemed cool, he seemed harmless, he liked romantic comedies, like.
Yeah, she lulled us into a false sense of security with him.
I didn't like that he was so like he hated the Blackthorns so much. Like, he knows these kids. He's been with them for so long. Like, he knows they're not like the bad Blackthorns of the past. Like,
the thing, I think his relationship with them is all based upon the lie that he wants to be friends with them. Like, it's, oh, he's hated them from the get-go. It wasn't like he found out that they're Blackthorns and now he hates them. It's like, no, I'm befriending this family because I hate them. Yeah. And I could see his point of view because he's just like, they locked my girlfriend up alive to die. Like, what kind of people do that? And they definitely, like, that family definitely, I bet, did more bad shit than just that. I think we're going to find that out in the next book.
Yeah, I can't see how he couldn't have been, like, won over by them by seeing how
I know. I just, like, it felt so terrible that he's blaming these children. But I think he's just like too far gone because it's been.
Yeah, he's just holding on to that grudge.
Yeah.
Didn't let go.
Yeah, which is a shame because it got him killed. Probably. I mean, do you guys really think he's dead?
No.
No, I don't think he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, it's hard if you don't see a body. It's really hard to hear about that.
Especially, like, he's a warlock. He was stabbed and she took it out. Like, maybe he could heal himself. He's been dealing with dark magic. Maybe he set something up so that, like, if he is killed, he comes back.
What do you guys think Annabelle's gonna be like?
You know, it's a toss-up with that. Like, what do you think?
Nightmare dressed like Daydream.
Like, she could be, like, crazy zombie type monster, or she could be herself, just like really freaking confused because she woke up in a coffin in the middle of the ocean or whatever.
Emma asked a good question that I was actually like theorizing about when I finished the book. The dark artifices, like we know what the infernal devices are and the mortal instruments.
Whoa.
The dark artifices are, and I thought, like, I went into it thinking that they were actual physical things, but like an artifice is like, you know, a farce, you know, just like an illusion of something. And I feel like these dark artifices are just like the way people feel about each other in this book. Just like Malcolm's whole facade, this whole entire book was like a dark artifice. Like he's actually, I feel like it's going to be more of the situations rather than like physical things. I don't know.
Oh, I like that. I didn't even think about that.
That is a really interesting thought.
I thought about this book a lot. I have other examples. I wrote them down. I don't have them in front of me. That's like the main one that came up, but there are a lot of different things. Like even Diana, and there's a lot of different secrets and dark. Even Julian, like as a human, feels like kind of a dark artifice. Like we're meant to, he's so gentle, but then there's this hint of like ruthlessness that we see throughout the book and all this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a question about Julian. Do you guys does he scare you guys? Like Cassie says that the Nightshade deal made her question him.
Yeah, I went on about that a little bit in my review too. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but he did. I don't like Julian. Like he's not one of my favorite characters. He's an interesting character, but I wouldn't be like, I want to date Julian.
Yeah, I don't know about dating him, but I do really like him. Like he's ruthless, but it's in a way that, you know, he's not ruthless in a mean way. Like he's doing it to protect who he has to protect, because he was a 12-year-old kid when the lives of his brothers and sisters became entrusted in him completely, and then he ended up running the institute because his uncle is like useless. So
I think he could be pushed to the point of ruthless in a mean way, though. Like, because that was almost a mean way. Like, that was just the tip of the iceberg there. But, like, imagine what he could do if someone, like, if it was a situation where, like, it wasn't black and white, and he felt like he was threatened, but the other side had valid points. Like, I think he would still go after them.
Yeah. And, like, throwing Nightshade, that's the vampire's name, right? Nightshade? Throwing him under the bus was kind of a crappy thing to do, but, you know, he was making pizzas that people were getting magically addicted to, and, you know, I'm sure that's not even the tip of, like, the worst things that Nightshade has done in his life. But I don't feel that bad about the vampire.
Well, Nightshade, I don't know if you watched Emma's book talk about Lady Midnight, but, like, she has this really great theory that Nightshade is actually, because Nightshade is Clary's grandma's maiden name, or Claire's mom's maiden name, or it's in her family. So she has this theory that Nightshade was actually a shadow hunter that was turned into a vampire. And he's related to, like, distantly related to the Fairchild family. So I don't know. There's more going on there than it seems. I feel like that was, like, I don't know. Nightshade has been just like a friend to the family. He hasn't been mean to them. I wouldn't throw him under the bus like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I think there's definitely going to be more with that whole Nightshade ordeal.
Let's see. What are the funniest parts of the book?
Oh, so many.
One of my favorites is when Mark comes out dressed in only just a fur coat, and he's like walking down the stairs, like going to the lottery or whatever, and they're like, Mark! He's like, am I underdressed?
All of Mark's clothing things, like when he was just wearing a shirt under a shirt.
I loved that shirt under a shirt part. Like, I stopped and was just laughing. Like, how many layers are there? It just reminds me of Friends. I just pictured, like, could I be wearing any more clothes?
I also really like the part where Mark was, like, complaining about Diego, and he's like, Mr. Hot and Sexy. That's not really an insult.
Yeah, like, my favorite part was in the diner when they were all just having dinner, and Mark was like, I would like a plate of strawberries. That is all I shall desire. I can take them in a bowl, but I would like a plate. And, like, they're talking, and, like, Julian looks over at him, and he's just, like, pouring sugar packets into his mouth. What are you doing?
Oh my.
Yeah, Mark might have been my favorite character in this book.
Yeah. He's so funny.
Interesting. I don't know if he's my favorite. I think who is
He's a very like eccentric character.
Yeah, we have this whole like love pentagram happening, and Mark's in the center of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he just, like, threw everything into disarray with the Blackthorns. Just not what I expected him to be like at all.
Yeah. How long do you think he was gone in fairy years? Like,
Feels like forever. Like, I don't know.
he was there for like a century, like years and years and years, or
Maybe like 20 years or something. I don't know. I mean, or maybe it's weird because they talk about how fairy time passes differently, but at the same time, it passes differently, but they don't age. It's kind of mind-boggling when you try to, like, think about it. So it's like, is it longer? Is it shorter? But it definitely has to be longer, I think. But I don't know, because they go into the real world as the hunt, don't they? Like, aren't they always coming into the real world for the hunt? So, like, how does that work with the time? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked, I lost the tweet, but I remember someone asking about Helen and if we think we're going to see her. And I think we will. I'm really interested to see the Helen and Mark reunion since Helen is now 5 years older than him.
Yeah. I'm really excited for Helen to come back because, like, Helen and Aline, I love them. Like,
I know. I was hoping they'd be in Lady Midnight. I was kind of surprised that they weren't.
Yeah.
I was disappointed because I think it's gonna be a big thing when they do come back.
Yeah.
I hated them. I hated hearing how Julian is just like, yeah, everything's fine, like all the time on the phone. It's just like, you can ask Helen for advice, but you just don't. Like, you can talk to someone who's an adult, but you just don't. Why, Julian? Why? I hate how, yeah, my motto is to take those feelings, lock it up in a box, and put it in the back of my mind. Like, that's an unhealthy thing.
I mean, maybe the Parabati thing, like, going power crazy, like, maybe that could happen to Julian. Like,
that's what I've been saying. Like, I think he's susceptible to that. I think Emma could keep it down, but he can. That's why he should be told immediately.
How do you guys feel about Emma and Julian having sex in the first book, other than in the other series where, like, it happened at the very end and, like, it had to build up?
Good.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we kind of got to build it. Like, I mean, we knew that there was, like, going to be something happening between them. So.
And it's different from other relationships because it didn't just start. Like, he's been in love with her for years.
Yeah, they've known each other their whole lives.
Yeah, it goes back to that thing where in the other series, these characters are meeting for the first time and learning about each other in this world, and in this one, they've known each other for years. Like, this has been building up already.
Yeah,
right.
Like, always sleep in each other's beds. It's not like they're not new to each other at all.
Right.
And I also thought it was, like, kind of refreshing that we weren't going to be like, oh, when are they going to have sex? You know, like, because that was, like, a big Claire and Jace thing throughout, like, the series. And
then they couldn't have sex for a long time or they would die.
Yeah, then he had the fire in him and he would burn her.
Took 6 books to get there, but they got there.
What do we think about Ty? And will anything happen with him and Livy becoming Parabati? Like, will that ever?
I don't think he wants them to. I think if he's going to become it feels like they're setting Ty up to be maybe with Kit. And I don't know if it's going to be romantic or a Parabati relationship, but there's going to be some sort of, I think, strong relationship between those two.
Have you guys been reading all of Cassie Clare's Lord of Shadows excerpts on Tumblr?
Oh, no spoilers.
No.
Okay. Then someone else talk.
Okay. What do we think? What did you guys think of the whole whipping scene? Like, it got to the point for me that it was kind of like comical that they were just like switching whips, and I was just like, guys, let's just take one person, let them take the fucking whips, and then you can put some healing runes on.
Yeah, and that might have been my least favorite scene because of that. Like, also we had this whole buildup of like, oh, someone needs to be punished. And like we're thinking he's going to be taken away, he's going to be sentenced to death, I don't know, a crazy, diabolical fairy punishment, but then it's just getting whipped, which is terrible, yeah, but like Christine said, it's not something you don't come back from, like you can heal.
Like, yeah, if you were a regular person, it would be something you could die from easily, but like, these people all have special healing abilities. I mean, like, you know who I think should have taken the whips? Kiernan, and he didn't offer. And I was just like, this is your fault, bitch! Take the whips! I can't!
Yeah. Which character cameo from the other series was the most exciting?
Jem, because he's my favorite.
Yeah, Jem showing up at the end was really fun. Especially to see the Carstairs! Emma!
Yeah.
I knew they were going to show up. I think my favorite was I wanted to see Magnus and Little Max, and we saw him.
Oh, Little Max! I wish we would have seen him.
We saw him in the portal. They were like, he's holding a little baby.
Oh my god, there was a theory that I saw where someone thinks that their other adopted baby, Raphael, might be Sebastian and the Fairy Queen's demon spawn.
Yeah, no, I thought about that too. That's a very real possibility.
I feel like that has to come into play at some point.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna come into play. Like, that short story with him in it was like, this is meaningful. We'll see with that. I mean, like, the whole thing will be like, if that is him, like, if he's raised by parents like Alec and Magnus, like, is he?
No, not the Warlock baby, the other baby that they took.
They're raising him. They took him in. Yeah. So we'll see. He's like 5, I think. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, also fairy time is differently, and like maybe fairy babies are more like they're in their heads already. I don't know.
I mean, they found him on the streets in Brazil.
Yeah.
They think he's a shadow hunter from like that institute that got destroyed there, I think. That's what they said. I can't remember. But we'll see. I don't know. But I'm suspicious of anyone ever. So. What did you guys think about Arthur?
I don't know. I don't have any strong feelings about him either way.
You didn't read the short story, but like when it clicked that he was the way he was because of what happened in Fairy, I was like, oh my god, I felt so bad for him.
Oh, was this in Shadowhunter Academy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just Christine and Jessie have both read Shadowhunter Academy. I just read the synopsises to them because I didn't want to spend all the money on ebooks when I'm already pre-ordering the hardcover. So
I get it.
But
they're so much fun.
I know, they're so good. Like, it's so worth it.
I watched both of your guys' book talks on them.
God.
Oh my god.
Spoilers everywhere.
I want to get spoilers.
I'm gonna talk about the
after I'd already read the synopsises. So
the one with him, like, because it is so relevant to the story. He was and his brother. I forget like why they were taken into Fairy, but they were taken into Fairy. His brother fell in love with the lady what is her name? Lady Narissa, and they were like, legit in love, but like he was so distracted in this fairy world, he didn't realize his brother was being tortured the entire time. He came, and when they finally came out of it, like the fairy like put a spell or let him believe that she seduced him, and like he wasn't actually in love, he was under like a spell. But in actuality, and so he wouldn't feel bad about his brother and ignoring him and all that stuff. But they were actually in love, and that's how it ends. It's just like it's a reveal that like this wasn't like a trick by the fairy. Like she legit was in love with him, and she was really sad when they left.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. And they said she's dead, right? But is she actually? I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't see a body.
The body.
Did you read, Jesse? Did you read the short story at the end?
I did not. I haven't gotten there yet. I know. I'm gonna read it. I was gonna read it after the live show. I'm gonna read it after the live show, but I was just like barely making it for the live show. So.
Yeah, I unfortunately read it like after I made my book talk because it wasn't arc. But I think I'm gonna include like that in my like theories video. I'll talk about my thoughts.
Yeah, you should totally talk about it.
Yeah, because some shit went down in that. But
it's about like Jason Clary, right? Is that what it's about?
Yeah, it's what's happening to them when they're like, you know, when they come from Simon and Izzy's engagement party. It's like what was happening right before they got the call, like, oh, we need to go to the institute. Julian.
Okay, I'm excited to read it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't read it because I didn't think it'd be necessary for like talking about Lady Midnight.
This is an interesting question, and okay, this is from Federica. She says, does the sewer Parabati bond allow telepathy? And there is this sense that it does allow some sort of like telepathic communication. It's kind of like Selena and Rowan.
Oh my gosh.
And they're just like speaking to each other without speaking. I'm like, is this actually happening or is this in your brain? But like, when they're in the cave, she's like, Julian wants me to wait. And like, Julian's outside the cave. And it's weird. They know.
It's really weird.
No.
They know.
Is it more like they can read each other's feelings kind of thing, maybe?
Yeah, it might be.
Because like Selena and Rowan is like they can read each other's minds. Like they can talk to each other through their minds.
But I feel like it is just that they're so close, like not only because they've been best friends for years, but also their Parabati bond like getting more intense. Like she can just really know his feelings.
Wait, no, but isn't there like doesn't she hear him at one point say like wait?
Maybe.
I feel like there might have been one point like she mentioned it twice, and she was like,
"Is it just like that one word wait?"
Yeah,
or, like
I think it was like.
Is this during the cave scene?
Yeah, during the cave scene.
It might be more of like she gets a sense that he wants her to wait. Like she might be able to like sense what he's thinking, what he's feeling, but not in like actual words.
Yeah, you know what I think? Once this bond grows, because it'll just continue to grow, I think that there will come a point where they can talk telepathically. Like they can just communicate wherever, whenever.
Together.
I think that will be a thing because they'll just be all powerful sorcerers. I just picture them like becoming like genies, like in Aladdin.
I'm a genie in a bottle.
Like, what do you like? Oh God! And
I don't know, but like Christine, I think you mentioned this in your book talk about like what if they stop putting runes on each other?
Yeah. That's like a legitimate thing, I feel like. Like, if they stop putting runes on each other, then the power comes from the runes, doesn't it? Or does it become so strong that they don't even need the runes?
There's so much we don't know.
We have to see.
We need book 2.
More than shadows.
Seriously. Like, you guys know that I've been in a terrible, terrible reading slump, and this got me out of it because like I flew through the last 500 pages in one day. Like I didn't want to take a break to watch a show. Like instead of watching a show while I was eating, I was reading the book and eating. But then after finishing this, I was in another reading slump because all I want is Lord of Shadows. Like I haven't read another book since. I just want Lord of Shadows.
Read Shadowhunter Academy. Read it.
I will when my pre-ordered hardcover arrives.
Before that got me out of my Lady Midnight slump. I'm kind of still in it. I'm reading Carry On though, so I like Carry On.
What did you say got you out of your slump?
Nita For You.
Yeah, I just saw you put that book talk up.
Yeah, it was really good. It was good.
Okay, I do want that one. A lot of people have been talking about it lately.
The movie comes out in June, so read it before then.
All right. Okay, if you guys have any final questions, send those now because we're probably going to wrap up in about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm looking through.
That went by fast.
No question. It's because these books are so easy to talk about. Like, I love talking about Shadowhunters Chronicles.
Talk about this forever.
Yeah.
I just thought of another theory, but I'm not going to say. I'm sorry. I'm saving it for my video.
Save it for your video.
If I need to make a whole video about theories, like, I need to have some.
Okay, Cassie says, I feel like asking who your favorite character would be cruel, so what are your favorite aspects of our many protagonists?
I'm sorry, I totally just missed the question. What did you say?
Just give me a half second.
What are your favorite aspects of our protagonists? It's not a favorite character question, but what are your favorite parts of each character?
Well, I do really like that there's this weird darkness in Julian. I think it makes him a very interesting love interest, and I like all the artifice that is involved in this series because it feels like there's a lot of mystery going on. Oh! The other artifice another one of the ones I had on my list was the Lost Herondale. Like this whole time, we're kind of blinded by his father and the father's reputation and stuff, and the whole time his dad was a Herondale. I was like, Johnny Rook is a freak. I need to go reread this and like look at it completely different.
Well, this isn't a spoiler, but I wrote it on Cassie's Tumblr. This branch of the Herondales aren't related to Will and Tessa.
They came out of Tobias before.
Tobias, okay, yeah.
But it's still a Herondale, and they still have like these very specific traits.
Yeah. They all have variations of the same name. Now that's Kit and Jace. Christopher Jonathan and Jonathan Christopher.
I'm very excited to hopefully have Jace in our lives a little bit more, because like Jace, I you know what, my favorite cameo was probably Jace, and because it was just so fun to see him through someone else's eyes. Like it's just like we usually just see him through Clary's eyes and his own.
Right.
It's so weird seeing him like through Simon's eyes was hilarious, and like seeing him through like Emma's eyes was just great.
Especially
I love seeing him through Simon's eyes though, because like Simon had lost all his memories, so like he was just like giving Jace like a big hug. I'm like, what are you doing? This is so not. Oh man.
In the story at the end of the book, they're buds, and it's like.
Yeah.
I really liked back to the question we were kind of.
Sorry.
The whole thing with Julian's kind of darkness to him, I love that because he also has so much kindness in him. Like he took on this parental role to make sure his his siblings had someone who loved them and cared about them, and like he didn't want them to know that Malcolm was doing this just like to get at them, like that he didn't actually care about them at all. Like he's just so protective of who he loves, and that's really admirable. But then he's so protective, it goes into ruthlessness, which is just interesting.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of light and dark qualities to a lot of our characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you think Julian, this is from Savannah, she said, do you think Julian will date anyone to make Emma jealous?
Ooh.
Like, do you think Julian and Christina will happen? Because, you know, it leaves it open for Julian and Christina, actually, because I don't think it will happen because Christina knows about Emma.
Oh, yeah.
It leaves it open because Emma is fake with Mark, and I don't know, will Diego stay there, or does he have to leave and do his duties?
Yeah, does he need to go back?
Yeah.
No. I still don't completely trust him. Like,
yeah, I don't either.
Christina didn't hear him specifically saying any of this stuff, but still, he knew this about, what was his brother's name?
Yeah, Jamie.
He knew this about Jamie, and she was about to become Parabati with him.
Yeah. I completely don't trust that. Like, I don't understand how she could even trust that. You know, like, how could he go along with it for so long without telling her if he actually loved her?
Guys, this is really off topic. You know what's random is that I was listening to the audiobook and they don't pronounce it Jamie. They pronounced it Hamey.
Oh,
instead of Jamie.
Oh,
Yeah, because he's yeah.
Wow, Hamey.
Maybe not Jaime?
Or it's Jaime, sorry, not.
Okay, I was like, that's not.
I pronounced that really wrong. Jaime, it's Jaime, y'all. My Missouri accent popping out.
That's so American.
Me llamo es Amy.
Buongiorno.
That's Italian.
I know, but I was making a reference to Inglorious Bastard.
I haven't seen that.
But yeah, I was just calling him Jamie, oblivious to this. Yeah, we're down to like 4 minutes. Let's see.
Do we want to talk about our next Booksplosion book of the month?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it. Jesse, did your copy come?
It did.
Oh well, that's because you ordered it like the second we started.
Yeah, it's true.
Mine's on the shelf.
I don't have my copy yet.
Okay.
Jesse, you go for it. You announce it.
Our Booksplosion book of the month for the month of April is Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson.
Hey, it's gonna be good.
Our live show is going to be on April 24th. Is that right?
Let me look at the calendar. It is the last Sunday of April. Sunday, not Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be on a Sunday.
Oh,
Yes, because
24th.
the following weekend we will all be at Y'all West, so
Y'all West.
I do the live show for that.
yeah, well, we're having a meetup at Y'all West, so hopefully we'll see some of you guys there.
Details to come.
Yes.
Oh, okay, this is just an interesting point that I kind of want to just address. Pia said maybe Diana had a Parabati and they fell in love and the Clave had to kill him, which is interesting. It's an interesting theory, but like, I feel like it's just so similar to what's going on that she would have maybe warned Julian or Emma, you know, 'cause she must see.
Not around enough though. Like maybe she can't tell that that's a romantic love and above and beyond like.
I mean, she didn't tell them about Malcolm, so why would she tell them about that?
And Malcolm's a fairly new thing. Like, she's been doing it for 8 years, and she hasn't noticed. I don't know.
Yeah, but no one else has noticed either.
Oh, no, she does know, because she talked to Julian, and she said that she had this whole line that I specifically actually underlined. It was like when you walk on a razor blade for this long, you don't realize you're bleeding. And she's like, I've walked that razor blade, and I know, and I don't know what she was referring to there. But like, I think she does know that Julian is in love with her. I don't know if she knows that.
Know that Emma is in love with Julian.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Interesting theory.
Okay.
All right.
On
a nice note to end on.
Yeah. I think that is going to do it for this live show. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you join us next month with our next book.
Yeah, Second Chance Summer. This isn't it.
Second Chance Summer. What?
And yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.